Dobrý den, jmenuji se Lucie Síkorová a vítám vás na dnešním vysílání druhé části webináře k platformám low-code, které, jak už jsme minule řekli, zásadně mění pohled na vývoj aplikací. Ještě než přejdeme k samotnému obsahu webináře, tak opět zmíním jenom dvě nejdůležitější technická doporučení před samotným vysíláním, a to, abyste pro jistotu zkontrolovali vaše reproduktory, v případě špatného zvuku připojili sluchátka a dále, pokud budete mít v průběhu webináře jakékoliv dotazy, prosím, neváhejte nám je písemně položit prostřednictvím panelu otázek a odpovědí, který máte automaticky zapnutý po vaší pravé straně obrazovky. Moji kolegové, kteří vás dnešním webinářem provedou a které za malý okamžik představím, vám na ně na konci webináře budou živě odpovídat. Tak a já už pomalu v tuto chvíli vypínám svoji kameru a předávám slovo do Prahy jako prvnímu a již z našeho prvního vysílání známému panu Honzovi Svatošovi, vedoucímu jednotky, která má na starost zakázkový vývoj implementace Salesforce a vývoj low-code, kterého později v praktických ukázkách vystřídá Business Development Director Thomas Repolt a jeho kolega David Azule z francouzské společnosti Simplicité. Webinář tak bude probíhat jak v českém, tak později ve anglickém jazyce. Tak a v tuto chvíli vám všem přeji příjemnou podívanou a prosím, Honzo, ujmi se slova.
Dobrý den, děkuji, Lucko. Navazujeme tímto na první díl, velmi stručně o nás a co vlastně se snažíme sdělit. My jsme členy holdingu Solitea, působíme ve střední a východní Evropě. Dohromady máme obrat, v této době to už přes 2 miliardy korun a v zásadě obsluhujeme všechny klienty od největších společností až po malé živnostníky. A napříč těmito, řekněme, sektory se dodáváme našim klientům i low-codové platformy, o kterých jsme hovořili velmi stručně v minulém webináři. Tento webinář bude zaměřen na jednu z těchto platform, která se vyznačuje tím, že plně může nahradit jakýkoliv další vývoj a bude představena tato platforma Simplicité, konkrétně právě těmi, kdo ji znají nejlépe, to znamená jejími autory. Lucie, další slide, prosím. Velmi stručně bych jenom zopakoval, co nám umožňují low-codové platformy. Umožňují v zásadě velmi zkrátit veškerou dobu dodání a umožňují také vyřešení nebo alespoň částečné vyřešení problémů nedostatečných IT zdrojů a jejich, řekněme, extrémní ceny. Častou námitkou, která se objevovala v minulosti a která byla v minulosti poměrně oprávněná, bylo, že tyto platformy, kterých je mnoho, v zásadě nejsou na enterprise úrovni. My jsme se soustředili na některé z nich a Simplicité v tom vyniká, které jsou plně nasaditelné i v největších firmách a podporují všechny standardy kolektivní spolupráce a třeba i bezpečnosti. Simplicité je také jedna z platform, která může jet jak na cloudu, tak i on-premise a v zásadě tím netrpí neduhy toho, že by byla nějak technologicky vázaná. Další bude praktická ukázka Simplicité přímo od kolegů z Paříže a tímto předávám slovo Thomas. Now it's up to you. Thank you.
Thomas, please turn on your microphone.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I forgot to unmute my microphone. Thank you for the introduction. So I will present briefly Simplicité, who we are and what we do. So perhaps you can change the slide. Okay, so Simplicité is a French low-code platform editor, and I will begin by a quick overview about the markets. And then introduce Simplicité. So some key figures that are given by the Forrester and the Gartner is that almost 70% of the application will be developed by companies using low-code platform in 2025 against 25% in 2020. That three quarter of large company will use at least 4 different low-code platform to develop specific application and support citizen developer initiatives. You will see that in the next slide in the segmentation market, and that the market is very huge with $29 billion of incoming. So why are these figures? It is because low code is clearly reducing time, effort, and money. So I will, you will have this slide, so I will not comment, but it's much more quicker, much more easier, and much less expensive to create some specific and strategic applications with low-code platforms. So we can change the slide. Okay, so for just as an introduction, I won't be so long on this slide, but there's several actors now on the low-code segmentation. There's a large number of solutions, and they do not have the same objective as written. They do not address the same needs, and sometimes that can be complementary. So I won't talk about the no-code and low-code for business developer and low-code for mobile business developer platform. These platforms are used to develop and to build some very simple applications, and the users, the developers, as we can say, are just citizen developers, business analysts, or advanced users, guys who knows quite well Excel and make some macro in Excel and things like that. Simplicité is a low-code platform for AD&D professionals, so application development and delivery professionals, such as the BPM low-code platforms. So these kind of platforms are addressing IT departments, architects, or developers. What the main difference between the two segments of AD&D and BPM and digital process automation is that AD&D platform are data centric. So in Simplicité, the first work you have to do is to create your data model. And the BPM are workflow centric, so it's activities centric. So you have to create your activities, and then the platform will try to transfer that in data models. It's aiming to build a strategic and complex application, and the users must be IT professionals. Okay, so you need more skills, more IT skills, and the coverage is unlimited, almost unlimited, and it's very robust in industrial solutions. They are very robust in industrial solutions. Next slide. Okay, for Simplicité itself, we are a company who was created in 2006. So it's now 15 years we're making research and development about the low-code segment. Sorry. So we are one of the pioneers on the segment because the segment doesn't exist at all in 2006. The low-code segmentation appears in 2014, 14 and 15 with Salesforce, with force.com, the Salesforce platform. The main key features are the following. So we are data centric. So first stuff to do is modelizing your business data. We are API centric, so anything you can parameterize and develop in Simplicité is produced on the first layer of API that allows you to interconnect with all your existing or IT or partners or things like that. We're dynamic rendering, so everything is parameterized is dynamically rendered via the API through the UX, UI. Simplicité is agnostic to the infrastructure, technical infrastructure. You can choose to install it on the cloud, public, private, hybrid cloud, or on-premise. And Simplicité is a DevOps platform, so you can have all the DevOps process to develop. We have main partners. So Solity is the main partners for us for Eastern Europe, but we work with very big integrator in France and in the rest of the world, such as Capgemini, just to okay, such as Capgemini or Orange. Okay, next slide. Okay, and our customers are private and public sectors. In the private sectors, we are working with CAC 40. I don't know if you CAC 40 companies. So the main big companies, major companies in France, such as Groupe Renault, Alstom, Amadeus, SFR, Essilor, Crédit Agricole, Veolia and BNP and BPCE. So these are main French companies that are working worldwide. So users of the Simplicité platforms for these clients are worldwide. So they, for example, Renault is present in 37 countries, I think, and there's more than 180K users. Not the 180K use Simplicité, but some. And we work a lot with the public sector in France because we're a French company. We are not submitted. I don't know if you say submitted, but when Patriot Act and Cloud Act for a big American company, Northern American companies, is not for us. So we can have the applications on European clouds without any Patriot Act constraints. So I won't detail the public sector, but we work for ministries of armies, ministries of interior, ministries of economic and finance and things like that, and others local public sector not companies, but organisms. So I think I'm done with my presentation, and I will give the hand to David, who will demo how Simplicité works, but it will be a quick demo. Thank you to all, and it's your turn, David.
Hello. Do you hear me? Yes. Okay, so I will make a very quick technical presentation of the principle of Simplicité, and then I will go through a demo. So Simplicité is as Thomas said, a dynamic platform that dynamically renders what you have configured in it. So it's a data-centric platform. So the first thing you have to configure is the data. Then you can add some rights on top of this data and some workflows. As it is a low-code platform, you can implement some added logic using Java code on the server side. Then the platform will render everything that has been configured and developed on the server side as APIs, on top of which you get a generic user interface in which you can implement additional components if you need. So in this case, it would be implementation of standard web pages using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. The platform architecture is composed of the business engine, which runs on the server side, which is in charge of dynamically processing the models. We are in a Java world, so it's easy to integrate with any third-party services. On the other, on the UI layer, Simplicité is exposing APIs, so you can benefit from the generic user interface, or you can develop your own user interface or alternative user interface if you wish. Yeah, and Simplicité can be deployed on any infrastructure which is able to run Java application, which means modern infrastructure using Docker images or any legacy systems. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, I think you're seeing my screen.
Yes, we see.
Okay, great. So I will sign in to the generic user interface of Simplicité using my Google account, but it can be anything else. I reach the UI with a high level of rights because I'm what we call a designer, which means a developer on Simplicité. In this UI, you see that I have a lot of things that I can access to, but I can also zoom on one particular application. So in this case, I will show you a demo application, which is composed like this. So I will show you the data model. Simplicité is a data-centric model. So the first thing you have to look at on an application is the data model. So in this data model, we handle a product catalog with suppliers and who are supplying products, and we have also customers who are ordering products. But I will focus on the catalog side. So the model is like this. It can be rendered dynamically, as I said. So to do so, I will switch to the end user, to the demo end user's point of view. So in this case, it would be like this in the generic UI. So I get the suppliers, I see the suppliers, I see the products provided by the suppliers, I see the customers, and I see the orders of the customers. All these are orders. So I can navigate from the supplier to the products. So here I see the information of the supplier, and here I see the list of the products supplied by this supplier. If I switch to the next supplier, I see the other one. If I take a look at the supplier details, at the product details, sorry, you see that I have the information of the supplier. I have some information on the product, a reference, a name, a type. I can extend the UI to have additional fields such as a description or something like that. Here I have the current stock that I have on this particular product. And here I have a button that corresponds to the action of increasing the stock when I receive a delivery of products. So by default, this is implemented using an increment default value, which is 10. So if I go to any product here, I will see always 10 as the default value. So maybe I would like to extend this application, to update this application to have a default batch size that corresponds to the default quantity that I get from a delivery of this product. So to do so, I will switch back to the designer point of view, and I will implement this additional logic. So first thing to do will be to implement an additional field on the product object. So this will be configuration. And then I will add some logic to use this new field as the default value for the increase action. So if I go to the definition of this business object, the demo product, here I have a button that allows me to edit the form, the user form of this object. So you see that I see the same thing that I saw as an end user. So I see the supplier information, I see the reference, the name, the type, and the stock and the unit price. So here I will add an additional field, which will be an integer. And configure it at the batch size, saying that it will be 5. So if I do so, you see that there is an additional field that has appeared on this. So if I switch back to the user point of view and go back to the product, you see the batch size has appeared here, is also available here. So let's say I enter this value for this product and this value of a product. So at that stage, if I run this action, I still have the default value of 10. So if I want to implement some business logic on this field to display it as the default value of the action, I have to go back. So it's another way to go back to the definition. I display the object and I click on the object definition button. And here you see that we have an edit code button that allow me to implement some additional code associated to the subject. So in this demo, there is already some code implemented. So this is the default value of the increment that is used in the action. This is the name of the action, and this is the value which is set by default to the field of the increment argument. So if I want to use the value of this field, I have to change this part of the code and to say here I want the field value of this batch. So I've changed the code, so it should now be used dynamically. So if I go here, I have 125, and here you see that the increment action has been changed to the value of this field. So if I change this field to any other value, do this like this, it will be rendered like this. So what I showed you is that it's easy to change the configuration of an existing application. So it's also easy to create an application from scratch, and then to change or to add some additional code to improve the behavior of the business object or business workflows in other cases. So I was very quick on this demo just to leave time to show you some additional stuff depending on your questions. So I don't know if there are already some questions.
So thank you, David, so much for your demo. And now there is a space for your questions. One moment, please. Tak, máme tady několik těch nejčastějších dotazů, které se nám v průběhu ukázek nashromáždily. Já poprosím kolegu Honzu Svatoše, zda by mohl otázky přeložit kolegovi Davidovi a Tomasovi do angličtiny. A první dotaz zní, jak dlouho trvá namodelovat takové jednodušší CRM?
Okay, so the question is about the time to market to develop a simple CRM. Basically, okay. You can introduce your product, I guess.
Okay, so a CRM application can be very specific. So it depends what you want to do. So we have existing implementation of CRM-like applications from which you can start. So then the time to market is very quick, but you have to use the existing data model. But you can build also your own dedicated CRM from scratch. So in this case, it would be a pure creation of a new application. So as you see during the demo, it's very easy to add configurations such as a business object or a business field or a relationship between objects. So if the CRM model is very simple, it can be implemented in some hours. Then in general, what takes more time is the implementation of the business rules that can be tricky in some cases, and also the implementation of the integration of this system with additional systems. So it can be incoming integration, meaning that in the CRM we get, I don't know, for instance, the customers from another system, or the product catalog from another system. So in this case, the Simplicité platform will integrate with a third-party service by reading data from the remote service. And on the other direction, it's also possible that from a CRM application based on Simplicité, another system can call the APIs of this system to retrieve the data stored in the CRM, such as the customer data, for instance. So in this case, it would be easy with Simplicité because everything you see on the UI is first published as an API. So if you see a screen for managing the products here or the customer in a CRM system, you would have the corresponding API.
Sorry, David, perhaps if we have time, I don't know, it's Thomas speaking here, but we have an example of a CRM because we use Simplicité as our CRM. If we have time and if you want, we can demonstrate a little bit in 5 minutes how we use Simplicité as a CRM on our side. Just say it, and it will be Jérôme who will do that for us.
Okay, and I would add that we have, say, for 90% completed the Czech localization of that CRM. So this is now being offered to several potential clients. And we are using it as well. Thank you.
Yes, what I'm showing to you is the generic API layer. That show you that once a business object is configured, you have access to it using APIs. These
we don't see your screen.
That are used in the generic UI.
We do not see your screen, David. The sharing has been cut.
Has been switched out. Okay, never mind. Is there some additional question? Because if there are no questions, maybe it would be a good idea to switch to the CRM demo.
Yes, we have another questions.
Okay.
Další dotaz, který se nám tady jakoby hodně často opakuje, je, zda je CRM od Simplicité v cloudu nebo on-premi.
Okay, so that's the question about whether we can use your CRM on-premise or in cloud. So I guess this is a more generic question.
Yeah, any Simplicité instance can be deployed wherever you want. As we said during the presentation, Simplicité is a Java platform, so it means that you can deploy it on any platform which is able to run a Java application. This means a very wide range of solutions. We package Simplicité as a Docker image to ease the deployment, but it's not mandatory to use the Docker image. It's just recommended because it's well packaged. So it can be on premises, or it can be on a private cloud, or it can be on a public cloud. You can use the services of any operation company as you want.
Thank you. And next question is hlavní výhody vymodelovaného CRM pomocí low-code platform, jaké jakoby nejčastější jsou?
So just name the main advantages of your CRM based on the Simplicité platform.
Okay, so if we speak about CRM, maybe I'm not the best person to discuss it. Simplicité is not a CRM only platform. It's a platform to build a custom business application. So it can be a CRM application, but it can be anything else. So
yeah, I can perhaps have some key points. Our CRM has been designed just to have the I don't know how to say the essence of the CRM. Sorry, I will put my camera on. The essence of the CRM functionalities, because we tried to at the beginning of Simplicité, we tried to use some other CRMs such as Sugar CRM or Salesforce or things like that, but it was very huge capabilities, very sorry, how I can say, difficult to understand. There will be a lot of change management, and there were some functionalities that we won't use any at all. So our CRM, but it's not just remember our version of the CRM is just an example of a parameterize of an application, of a Simplicité application. It's not due to be a vertical solution such as Salesforce or something like that, but it's a very good basis to begin and to adapt your needs, your specific needs to the to use your CRM and not the CRM think by another big company for any kind of stuff, industrial stuff or huge companies or things like that. So
another way of saying that is that with Simplicité you will build the exact CRM you need, and you won't have to adapt to an existing CRM model.
Yeah, and you can begin from our point of view, which Jan can show you, because Jan is now an expert on the Simplicité CRM, and it's in Czech.
Thank you, Thomas. I will read the next question. Je vaše CRM i v češtině? Má jazykovou mutaci?
No, to jsme odpověděli. Ano, je to v češtině. Teď dokončujeme právě tu mutaci, je to na 90% hotové.
Děkuju. A ještě poslední otázka. Kromě modelace CRM, jaké aplikace můžeme pomocí low-code jakoby dál modelovat?
Well, so this is now basically Thomas or David, up to you. So what are the other possible applications we can use the Simplicity for? So more generic.
Yeah, there's no, sorry, mate. Do you hear me? Yeah. There's no limitation, because as you see, as you've seen in the demo, which was very quick. I'm sorry, we're sorry because the time is low. It was not extending. There's no limitation in designing applications. So we have some customers that are using Simplicity for IT purpose. For example, Renault Group is all the IT referentials are in Simplicité, so it's very technical issues. So to know how many servers, how many functions, how many applications, the flow, I don't know, say the flows between applications, the data, where are they stored, the software asset management things and things like that. The GDPR, to see where are the data, who is the owner of the data and things like that. But we have some CRM like ITCE, which is a bank that has developed a specific CRM for their client, internal client management. We have application for finance, we have application for logistics, we have application for human resources, yes, to make the checking of the, how you say that, entretien annuel, the evaluation, colleague evaluations, formations, training, sorry, and things like that. And there's no limits.
There are a lot of dedicated system, because the main benefit you get from using Simplicité is that you can build exactly the data model and the workflow that you need for a particular business. So we have a lot of applications that are dedicated to very specific business, such as the block collection entity in France with doing the planification of the actions. There are other examples like Facom, who is using it for a warranty of tools, of industrial tools, and there is virtually no limit. The key point is that Simplicité is a data-centric low-code platform, so it means that you can implement any business data management system based on it. It's and on which you can handle data, you can apply rules, rights, and integrate with other systems and run workflows. That's the key point of the platform. So any business need can be implemented on this platform.
Yeah, Simplicité is a blank page at the beginning. You can start from some modelization we've done or other clients have done or something that are public. So we offer a sort of a store with example of application, but it's a blank page. It's a tool to develop quicker your application, which will answer 100% or 150% of your needs because of the agile implementation. You can change your business needs and go further than your first idea.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. There isn't more questions. So thank you for attention, you all. Dámy a pánové, děkujeme moc za pozornost. V tuto chvíli zde nemáme více otázek. Já vám děkuji, že jste přišli na druhou část našeho webináře o low-codových platformách a přejeme vám, ať se vám v životě daří. Mějte se hezky a nashledanou.
Thank you. Bye.